So we are about to dive into a business model that is not talked about enough. And if you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. And for the ones who have been watching for a while, welcome back. As you know, this is going to be a very, very extensive course and complete guide to help getting off the ground running with Amazon FBA the easiest and quickest way possible. So let's go through it step by step. And if you've been here before, you probably know that I'm starting to coin this word of hybrid wholesale when it comes to Amazon FBA. Okay, so what we're gonna be talking about today is Amazon FBA hybrid OA plus wholesale, and this is a complete course. And I put 12K a month here because it's a number that sounds pretty cool, but obviously you can get to 120K per month, 240K per month, and beyond with this business model and with this kind of transition. Okay, so with the first topic, we want to talk about understanding hybrid online arbitrage and the bridge between OA and wholesale and how this is all going to work. So hybrid OA is one of the most effective ways to grow your Amazon FBA business beyond the beginner stage. And I actually stand by this to the core, true, because it's not just me now who's building out this business. It's a ton of people who are in the Amazon FBA free school community that I have, that's in the description or in the bio, that are starting to build this out. And I'm getting tons of messages all day long about doing this business model, and it's been working like crazy, and it's been easier than ever here in 2026 because of the shift that Amazon FBA is kind of going through. Okay, so with traditional OA, it involves buying smaller quantities of products from retail websites and reselling them, selling them on Amazon. Right, that's been around for years now, since Amazon FBA started working with those traditional retailers, which we'll talk about here again. But somebody like Walgreens here, and then reselling it on Amazon, buying a little bit of stock, trying to gather enough to get good selling volume, good discounts and whatnot, and sending that inventory into Amazon FBA. So while this works to start, it has its limitations. And if you're just getting going with Amazon FBA within the OA side of things, 3 months, 6 months, or just about to start, you already know this, right? So its inventory is inconsistent. Products go out of stock often. It's really, really hard to stay on top of it unless you have a really good system with a team and whatnot, which can be expensive. And number 3, margins can fluctuate, right? Is the coupon in stock? Is the coupon not in stock? What is the situation? Is the retailer in stock, right? A lot of different, moving parts can happen here when you're going through the traditional OA model, okay? Now with hybrid OA, it solves a lot of these problems. I'm not gonna sit here and say that's a silver bullet, but it solves a lot of these problems, and it's something that's essentially essential to add into the business now in 2026, considering how easy it is to work with it, okay? So hybrid OA means you source products from like an OA seller. So same exact process, right? We're going through retailers, we're finding quality listings, we're looking for what can we make profitable with a buy cost, considering what it's selling for on Amazon. Selling for 40, we're hoping to buy for 20. Same exact process. We're not Google Maps sourcing, we're not LinkedIn sourcing, we're not Smart Scout sourcing, all these different softwares and whatnot. Same process. There's no extra legwork being done on your end, which is the good side of things. But we're buying deeper inventory like a wholesale seller. Now, if you heard about Amazon FBA wholesale, which we're going to talk about a little bit, pretty soon towards the end of the video, you need a business, you need a tax permit, you need a proper business processes, right? You need to have good communication, a little bit of sales, opening up accounts, and so on. Just like a proper business when it comes to Amazon. But with the hybrid OA model, it's essentially sticking between OA and wholesale, and it's skipping a lot of the hard part with wholesale, but it's still getting that bulk inventory, those bulk discounts, and those relationships, okay? And it's really, really effective, and you'll see as we go through it. Now, also, it focuses on smaller retailers and niche suppliers, which almost might be better than wholesale, because niche suppliers that don't really get these requests often are getting these requests from you, so that brings your competition to a bare minimum, okay? And it's so super new, so it's a really exciting time to be kind of getting into it, right? So instead of buying 3 to 5 units of product, as we know, right? Discount, coupon, we're trying to get through the order system, we can only buy 5, only buy 8, only buy 6, right? All those bigger retailers, so we don't get order cancels. We're buying 20 units, 50 units, 100 plus units, whatever you want, right? So with wholesale, we know there's order quantities, minimum order quantities where you have to spend 1,000, 2,000, or 100 units. When you're buying in bulk from smaller retailers in the hybrid OA side of things, you're doing what you want, essentially. Hey, can I buy 20? Can I buy 40? We're just skipping the side of having to go through, order cancellations, checkout issues and whatnot, discounts and whatnot to get all the way around that, okay? So this allows you to build consistent inventory a lot easier, have a relationship with the retailer. This one is huge. I'm gonna talk about it 10 more times going forward because this really gets into the wholesale side of things. And number 3, it increases monthly revenue more easier. So of course you can increase monthly revenue with OA, right? I've done a lot of OA, still do OA and whatnot, but This is a much easier way to do it because you can stay in stock and you could get even better discounts sometimes, all right? So hybrid OA is often the transition phase between OA and wholesale. You also never have to leave hybrid OA. So I talk about this all the time in the community with people, is that hybrid OA is basically the best way to understand how wholesale is gonna work without the sales aspect of it. You're buying in bulk, you're getting discounts, you're accumulating a lot more stock, you're spending a lot more money on these products, but also you don't have to leave hybrid OA. Big majority of my business currently with Amazon FBA is hybrid OA. I'm buying in bulk from these retailers. Competition is at very much a minimum, and the discounts are great, the relationships are great. So I'm gonna keep on running it as much as I possibly can because everything is trusted, everything is authentic, everything is proper, everything is great, right? So you don't have to get out of the side of things. And it's a trap that many, many people fall into, especially even with regular OA, right? I'm in regular OA, I scale to 100K, now I'm done. Now I have to get to wholesale to get to 250K. And it's not true. And hybrid OA, I'm sure you can take it to $1 million a month, $2 million a month, plus if you have the systems, money, and processes to do so, okay? Now, topic number 2. Finding smaller retailers and niche suppliers. So one of the biggest opportunities in hybrid OA is working with smaller retailers or medium size that most Amazon sellers ignore. So you hear all the time, if you come in here into YouTube, if you go to websites like Twitter and whatnot, and you'll see everybody talking about buying from trusted suppliers, buying from people you can get really good discounts, Vita costs, ones you could stack coupons, stack deals, and all of the good stuff. But a lot of the Amazon sellers, nobody pays attention to that little mom and pop website that's maybe local in their hometown or maybe out somewhere in Florida or out somewhere in Texas that has an opportunity to buy these products in bulk, sell them to you in bulk, and give you a little bit better of a cost if you were just a regular customer on their website. So larger websites like Walmart and Target, which I definitely recommend you never even look at or touch, are heavily sourced by thousands of sellers. At this point, it might be millions, right? I always tell people, if you find a lead from Walmart or Target, give it about a week and it'll be unprofitable. Okay, seriously, this is so true because people have so many softwares, tools, scan websites, VAs. Just looking at Walmart and Target, those leads get caught up so quickly. There's no sustainability. You're just basically reselling products and your longevity in Amazon is essentially negative. It's never gonna happen, right? Instead, with hybrid OA, focuses on independent retailers, so smaller ones who aren't connected to chains or big companies like Walmart, specialty stores, right? You'll see this all the time with grocery stores, tools, lawn care, you name it, and niche e-commerce websites, right? So very, very specific products like electrical products and stuff like that. We're focusing very, very niche and specific here. These suppliers often have less competition or just none in general, better pricing, and unique product catalogs, access to the unknown. So how many times have you guys looked up a product, if you are into the sourcing side of things, if you're not, this will eventually happen to you, where you can't find a product at all, right? You can't find the supplier for it. It just doesn't exist. But hint, there's always a way to find and buy these products. And you think like, where the heck are these people buying these products? Well, a lot of these smaller retailers have these unique product catalogs. Access to the unknown is what I like to call it, okay? So many smaller retailers also allow larger purchases. This is huge, which allows you to scale inventory faster. Examples of places to find these include ... But before I even touch into that, I want to mention this again. A lot of these smaller retailers allow you to buy 20 units, 30 units, 50 units. Even if there's no discount included, it's a benefit to be able to sit here, place one order, buy 100 units, buy 50 units without having to go through the order jigging, order process, order cancellation process, headaches of credit card cancellations, you name it. I've been through all of that stuff, right? So it's just much, much easier to do it. Now, these include Google product searches, literally just as you do with regular product sourcing, putting the product title into Google, switching up some of the wording sometimes. Niche branded websites, this is huge. Industry specific retailers. So over time, you start to get a good feel of, okay, who's the electrical supplier that I want to work with? Who's the lawn care supplier that's a smaller retailer that I want to work with? Because over time, these retailers can turn into long-term sourcing partners, right? Take it from me, believe me. There's been so many times where I found a product, it's not carried by that smaller retailer that I once bought a bulk order from, but I reach out to them and say, hey, John, are you guys able to have access to this brand XYZ? And they say, yes, they have good pricing. They carry it in their catalog. Why? Because they have a client to buy from them, and it's me. And the same thing happens with wholesale, right? You basically reach out to these suppliers. Can you also carry this product? As long as it's in its avenue, right? I'm not going to reach out to a lawn care supplier if it's for a supplement product or a healthcare product. But if it's healthcare and it's a decent size, you're a smaller retailer that carries a lot of healthcare stuff, maybe I'm going to do a shot in the dark. They can build that relationship with the brand because the brand trusts them. They have a storefront, they have a sign, they have a website, they have a building, they have retail customers, and I buy from them, okay? Now, topic number 3, evaluating products for hybrid OA and wholesale. Not every product is a good candidate for hybrid OA or wholesale. When evaluating products, you should look at the following characteristics, okay? Minimum criteria. Very niche, this is the top one, it's very, very important. 0 to 40% ROI. The reason why I say this, 0% ROI, you might be saying, who the heck is in the business of doing stuff for $0 profit and whatnot, is because a lot of these times, these niche suppliers list the product on their website at $29.99, or you reach out to them, you wanna buy in bulk, you buy 100 units, they sell it to you for $22.99. All of a sudden, a 0% ROI product turned into 35%. It's happened so many times for me because guess what? They're tailing towards their retail customers. All of a sudden, you come and reach out to them and you want to buy 100 units and make them $400 or $500 of profit in one order, they're going to give you a big old discount, right? And I've had it happen so many times. Also, consistent sales history, like a typical lead, stable pricing history, and manageable competition. Now, I do want to dive into really quickly what one of these potential websites look like before we go any further. So I'm on just this random website here that carries a ton of products. It's called orthout.com. I can't even pronounce it, so I'm not even going to take a shot at it. But you can see here, I have no idea. I've never even sourced a supplier. I don't know if they're trusted. I don't know if they have any products that are profitable and whatnot. I just saw it across Google. You can see here, this is something that's really, really smaller retailer base. It might even get you a little bit concerned if it's trustable because they're just so small, you have no idea. But what I'm looking at already, just a few products here, this knee sleeve that's $59.99, this ankle stabilizing product that's $25.87, right? These are potential opportunities to boom. You just hit a little contact us page, whether it's a phone call or an email and whatnot, and they might have tons of opportunities on here that fit current selling products on Amazon or future products on Amazon that you think that, okay, all of a sudden these products are doing well. Can I reach out to ORTHOUT and see if they can also carry this product, right? Just a prime example of it. And you can see obviously the massive difference it is with Walgreens, which has, Rakuten, has Retail Me Not, has all these coupons and discounts and whatnot, and is a really massive supplier where you can't reach out to Walgreens, right? But when it comes to a smaller retailer, you can reach out to them and you can get that pricing down a little bit more, okay? Now I wanna keep going. Most sellers use tools like Keepa and SellerAmp. These are non-negotiable, as you guys probably know, as you're building out the business. They're like $40 a month. I think it's a little bit more because they increase their pricing, but it's worth hundreds of dollars per month. And these tools allow you to analyze sales velocity, historical price trends, seller competition, profit margins. And this is huge, right? Tracking the historical trends when you're looking for niche products from niche suppliers, because that way I know if I'm going to buy this in bulk at $20, and the historical chart shows me that for the past year and a half, it's sold profitable if I buy it for 20. I know I have a really good chance of having a lead that's gonna last a year and a half at 30 or 35% ROI, and it makes you that much more excited to go and chase those smaller retailers, those hybrid OA leads, I'd call it, okay? So your goal is to find products that can sell consistently while maintaining stable margins. No surprise here, right? This is an out-of-the-book definition sentence essentially right here, okay? Now, topic number 4, inventory strategy for reaching 12K per month. Again, I have 12K because it's a fancy little number. It's better than 10K, so we're gonna put 12K. Scaling to 12K per month, and this is profit or revenue, whatever you want it to be. That means revenue has to be much higher. It's primarily about inventory volume and product diversity. This is a big one. Of course, you have to buy more products to make more money, but product diversity, I'm not saying go to 100 products, but this is gonna be big as we touch into it. Many successful hybrid OA sellers follow a strategy like this. 7 to 10 active products, 10 to 50 units per product. This creates a consistent inventory flow across many, many listings. Now I want to dive into an example here. Again, this is one that I think my team found like 9 months ago. I don't think it's profitable. I can see I still have a price here in SellerAmp. Maybe this is probably something I wouldn't approach because it only has 50 sales per month. Not too much volume, not too much profit opportunity for where I'm at in the business, but stacking 7 to 10 products in the catalog, not just saying this product in general, but you can see this is extremely niche. This isn't Nike, this isn't Adidas, this isn't something that you know or have in your house probably, right? This is very niche. I don't even know what it is, to be honest. You can go through all the listing photos and whatnot, but this is an example of something where a smaller retailer becomes a hero, becomes a Superman, right? Because you put this into Google. I haven't done it actually before, but you put it into Google and all of a sudden 4 or 5 different suppliers in this type of category niche pop up. Now we have an opportunity because if they're selling at $12.99 or something like that, or $11.99, maybe we can get a 10% discount. Maybe we can get a 20% discount. Maybe we can get down to $8 or whatever it may be. And now this product becomes profitable when every single other Amazon seller searches it up into Google and says, man, this sucks. I'm quitting Amazon FBA because I can't find the product profitable. I've seen it so many times firsthand, okay? Now, Like I said, this creates consistency inventory flow across many listings. With deeper inventory and higher sales velocity, this can scale towards 10 to 12K per month in revenue. And again, it could be profit if you want it to be. So the key principle is the breadth of products. Okay, I guess I have a little bit of a spelling here, but not reliance on a single product. All right. So I can't even tell you how many times in my business where I've been so heavily invested, a majority of my inventory spend, all of a sudden it doesn't start performing as well as I want it to be, right? That 40% ROI is not there no more. I'm not getting 400 to 500 sales per month. Now my business takes a little bit of a hurt in the first 2 years of my business because my winner, right? My hero product's not performing as well. You want to have a little bit of a base because look at it as like clients. You have 8 to 10 products out there working for you. If one goes down or doesn't perform as well as you want it to be, your business is still growing and as strong as ever, okay? Now, topic number 5, adding hybrid OA to wholesale. This is a big one. And notice here that I'm saying adding. I'm not saying replacing or switching to, I have adding. So as your Amazon business grows, some hybrid OA products may become opportunities for wholesale purchasing. Literally say this sentence twice over again. Wholesale means buying products directly from wholesalers or authorized distributors. But as you're buying products and you're spending $4,000 to $5,000 to $6,000 into some of these that you're doing hybrid OA wise, and you want to take it to the next level, go a little bit higher up the supply chain, go to a manufacturer, go to a distributor, go to an actual proper wholesaler, you have the confidence to say, I've spent $20K in this product for the past 6 months. I know exactly how it's going to perform. I feel super confident doing this because when you're going with wholesale, you're spending $45,000 on listings that you don't even know if are going to perform well. You have a really good feeling off all the data and the knowledge that you know, but you don't know if it's going to perform well. But when you go through hybrid OA, you've done this before. Now it's basically just taking it to the next level, okay? And manufacturers here. Now, benefits of wholesale, as you guys know, include a relationship closer to the brand, consistent supply, maybe a little bit more consistent than a retailer because it can carry more inventory, and larger inventory purchases and stronger long-term relationships. Again, a wholesaler is in the business of selling products to you at bulk. A retailer might not be doing that, right? But with hybrid OA, you're trying to convince them to do that, and then you kind of build a relationship through that. But these guys aren't going anywhere, these wholesalers. They want to do this to you month after month after month, okay? The addition often happens when you notice a product that sells consistently, maintains stable pricing, and has reliable demand. You know for a fact that this is going to perform very, very well over the course of these next few months. I'm ready to go attack it wholesale, but continue to build my relationship with hybrid OA because why would you get out of it? Maybe you can get a few more percentage points. Maybe you can get a better relationship. Yeah, but continue to kind of double down on what you're doing. And again, you never even have to make that transition. Now, I wanted to throw this in here because I thought it would be useful and important for everybody. But if you want to kind of go through the wholesale route, how do you find wholesalers? Again, I have videos on this and whatnot. There's tons of videos in the community on this, which I recommend you guys to join and ask a ton of questions. But you literally just go on Google, right? Wholesalers in Florida or healthcare wholesalers in Florida, whatever you want it to be, right? You can search it up. Google will come up with that. Then it's a lot of cold calling or a lot of cold emailing and going through the entire process. I have tons of videos on this. I'm sure there's millions of videos on YouTube about going through the wholesale process. But there's many, many ways to approach this. You could even search up a brand, right? I don't know, like XYZ brand wholesale, whatever, right? And it'll come up and you start to find those opportunities. Then it's just a lot of scraping, a lot of digging, and a lot of hard work, okay? Now, instead of buying from a retailer, you may be able to contact a brand or distributor directly and purchase more on a more predictable relationship. Again, distributors working up higher in the totem pole, it's more predictable. It's just how it is, right? OA, hybrid OA, you want to get even more predictable, go wholesale, then go brand direct, and that's the highest you can get in the totem pole, okay? Over time, this allows your business to move from OA, hybrid OA, wholesale. You never have to leave OA, but if you want to work it into the business, you can go through the wholesale side of things. And that's kind of how the business starts to scale, 10K, 20K, 50K, 100K, and so on. I'm not guaranteeing it, but obviously it's a stepping ladder that I've done. I've seen many people do, and I'm watching more people now than ever start to do it, and it's really exciting. So there we go on an entire course here with the hybrid OA model and kind of working it into wholesale. I hope you guys like the video as always, and if you have any recommendations, comment on these videos of what you guys want me to make next, right? I've had so many experiences, so many failures, a lot of success, and everything in between with Amazon, and I'm happy to churn out these videos at a very high volume, very high pace, so you guys can learn as much as possible. And again, joining the community would be awesome for you guys because I'm in there every single day answering as many questions as I possibly can for everybody for free. Just a lot of my experiences and posting a ton of times, keeping people motivated, and people are crushing in there. So it's really, really cool. So there we go with the entire video, and I will see you guys in the next one.